No, they are not, is the simple answer to the question posed in the title of the video. Manchester United are not in a title race, and before United fans start eating me and tearing the head off me, I just want to say that this video is going to be me, basically giving Man United their flowers, giving them their praises, because they're having a very good season under Erik ten Hag. I think Ten Hag is doing a very good job there, and I'm going to elaborate on that in this video. But I just wanted to say, you're not in a title race, you're not ready for a title race. I think, to be fair, a lot of, if not most of, level-headed Manchester United fans will also say that they're not in a title race, and they're not going to get too carried away, especially with a good run of results that they're on right now, and a win over Manchester City in the Manchester Derby, which has motivated me to do this video in the first place. But in my personal opinion anyway, Manchester United are not in a title race, despite the fact that they're 6 points off Arsenal. I think it is, with Arsenal having a game in hand over the North London Derby tomorrow. But I think Man United are more focused on the top four this season and not in the title race just yet. But before we get into this video, I just want to elaborate on the fact that I am wearing a Crystal Palace jersey, and I do have Chelsea stuff in the background because I am a Chelsea supporter. To be honest, I just got this jersey, first of all because I think it's nice, and second of all, it has Michael Olise on the back of it, and I just love Michael Olise. So that's long story short, because I know I'm going to probably get cooked in the comment section below for being plastic or whatever. But just wanted to firstly clear that up before I do get cooked in the comment section, which is still probably going to happen, but f*** it, who cares? But I want to just, give Man United their praises, to be honest, because I thought they were quite good against Man City, to be honest. Actually, I thought they were very good against Man City, and I thought Man City were quite poor, but I think it was partly, if not mostly, down to the fact that United were so good and were so organised and were so structured out of possession, and they timed their on the ball stuff really well in terms of going forward and their attacks and stuff. I think they were absolutely brilliant, to be honest, and I thought that Ten Hag set them up absolutely magnificently tactically, and I think that's been a bit of a trend for the season for Ten Hag so far. Obviously it didn't start off the best. They lost their first, I think it was 2 games of the season, at home to Brighton on the first day, and then got absolutely slapped by Brentford, and ever since then they've been decent. They've suffered a few poor results every now and then. You think of the 6-3 loss at the Etihad in the reverse fixture of this game, but no, genuinely, you can see, with Ten Hag so far taking over United, that it's starting to click for United in possession. They're a lot better on the ball, their patterns of play are a lot smoother and a lot more fluid, and their passing lanes are a lot more fluid, and short passing and long passing is becoming a lot better for United. They're becoming a lot more comfortable in possession, and Ten Hag does set them up very well off the ball as well when they need to as well, like they did today, which is partly, and as I said, mostly the reason why I think they won today. And to be honest, I think United, the reason why I reiterate again, I don't think United will be in a title race this season. I don't think they'll be anywhere close to a title race in the next 2 or 3 months or so. It's just because I just don't think they have the squad. I think they don't have the starting 11 yet. I think they're probably 4 or 5 starting players at least away from actually properly challenging for the title, and that's completely aside from depth, because they do struggle with depth as well. I mean, we'll go through the team. First of all, I think David De Gea is, a decent keeper overall, and I think they do get away with him at this moment in time, but I just think that if United are to win the league, I think they're going to have to get someone who's more assured in the ball, someone who's more comfortable in the ball, and granted, his, distribution on the ball has improved a little bit this season under Ten Hag, but I just think they're going to need someone with a little bit more, confidence and fluidity on the ball if they are going to compete for the title. Right back, I like Diogo Dalot. I think he's improved a lot this season. Whether he can keep it going or not for the long term remains to be seen. Wan-Bissaka, I don't rate, even though I think he's on decent form at the moment. I think if you look at it long term, it's going to come back to bite United if they do keep hold of him, because I don't think he's comfortable enough on the ball, especially in terms of releasing it quickly. I think he takes too long in it and sometimes makes mistakes and sometimes is rash as well. Centre backs, Varane and Martinez I do like, but I think they need more depth, because Harry Maguire, as much as the pressure has been taken off him in recent months or whatever, he's not good enough. Victor Lindelof isn't good enough, so I do think they need like 1 or 2 more centre backs to compete with Varane and Martinez, and maybe even one to step in for one of those two. If you look at left backs, Luke Shaw obviously stepped into centre back, not really put up foot wrong so far at centre back, Luke Shaw, but I think Luke Shaw is an intelligent footballer on the ball. I think he's got a very good cross on him, and I think he is good in possession. There's just a few question marks once again as to whether he's got it defensively, and Malacia I think is, to be honest, a little bit average. Maybe United fans will disagree with me on that, but I just think that Malacia, there's just something about him, I don't know why. I think he's probably a solid 6 out of 10 maybe every week, so maybe you get away with him as maybe a backup left back in a title winning team. Then you go into midfield, obviously Casemiro has come on leaps and bounds at United. He has completely, revolutionised this team, really, I think is the right word to say for Casemiro, because even though I think he's sometimes a little bit suspect in possession, I think he gets away with it with just how good he is defensively and how how intelligent he is as a footballer as that number 6. And as I said, he has elevated every single one of those United players around him. Fred looks like a completely different player, I think, because Casemiro's presence in the team gives Fred a lot more freedom and a lot less defensive emphasis and defensive pressure, really. Eriksen next to him, I think Eriksen and Casemiro is a completely balanced midfield with Fernandes in front of them, I think, because you have Casemiro sitting, you have Eriksen who sits deep and, plays the ball around. I think Eriksen's been an absolutely brilliant signing, an underrated signing, if anything, for Man United in the way that he keeps the ball. I think he suits the way Ten Hag wants to play, absolutely down to the ground. And yeah, just the way he moves the ball and keeps United ticking on the ball is absolutely, it can't be underestimated, really. Then you've got Bruno Fernandes, who is a very good 10, to be honest, and I think that the presence of Ronaldo in the team kind of hindered him a little bit. He's starting to get back to his best now, played really well today. Maybe sometimes tries the Hollywood pass too much, but I think that his end product is very good when he's on his game, and if he gets back to his best, which he was, I think it was in the COVID season, the lockdown season, where he was just banging goals and assists for fun. If he can get back to that form on a regular basis, United will have no issues in midfield whatsoever. Now, I think the front three is where United struggle a little bit, because I like Antony. I actually think he's a very good player, very unpredictable, very tricky, skillful. He's got a lot of flair, a bit of pace, got a shot from long range. I just think that maybe he hasn't gelled in the Premier League just yet, and I don't want to write him off, just yet, because I think there's definitely potential there for him to be a starting player in a potential title-winning team in the future. But I just think there's a little bit that he's not given so far, and a little bit he lacks in terms of end product at this moment in time. Rashford, obviously no problems with, even though, it could be a bit reactionary to say that he's good enough to start for a title-winning team, but if Ten Hag can keep getting the best out of him like he's done so far, then there'll be no issues whatsoever with Rashford. He's been United's best player, to be honest, over the last month or so. Had a very good World Cup for England when he played, and yet is proven to be a massive big game player, and he is a big game player, Rashford. If you see his contribution for goals in big games, it's absolutely ridiculous ever since he's come into the Man United first team. And yeah, another big goal today, won the game for them. And to be fair, he was quite invisible today, but I think that sums up Marcus Rashford in big games, because he didn't really contribute whatsoever today and still came out with the winner and the most important goal of the game, arguably. So yeah, Rashford, very good player, very pacey, good at cutting inside in his right foot, intelligent footballer, skillful. So yeah, can't complain with Rashford, really. I think the main issue for United is up front. I think Martial, my personal opinion, I'm not a Martial hater by any stretch of imagination. I think on his day he's an absolutely brilliant footballer, technically and in terms of his pace and his finishing. I just don't think his day is enough. He's a bit injury prone, bit inconsistent. I'll cut him a bit of slack today because he maybe didn't look as sharp or as fit as he usually is, but I don't think Martial is going to be a striker that you win the league with, for 38 games over a season. And obviously Weghorst is coming on loan. It's only a short-term fix, really, unless they sign him permanent. I think he'll actually be a good signing for them, because I think he'll give Rashford a bit more support up front, and I think his link-up play is very good. Weghorst, we saw that in the World Cup for Holland, especially against Argentina, so I think he'll help Rashford massively. But yeah, based on what I've said there, excluding depth as well, to be honest, I think United are probably 4 or 5, I'd say, more starting players from even challenging for a league, or winning a league, I should say, and a few more depth players as well. They need a bit of depth in midfield to cover for Casemiro, Eriksen and Fernandes, and they need a bit more depth up front as well, added on to the starting players that they do or should sign, in my opinion. But I think let's not put too much pressure on Erik ten Hag at this moment in time, because obviously he's only been there for 4 or 5 months, and they're reaping the benefits already. Maybe it's a bit of a honeymoon period, so I'll be interested to see how long it continues for. But I just think that the problem with United at this moment in time, and the reason why I don't think they'll compete for the league until change is made at the top, is because of the Glazers. And I think that if Erik ten Hag gets what he wants, fills all the holes that he needs to in the team, I think Man United will be an extremely scary prospect, to be honest, because you've already seen improvements on the ball. They're kind of mirroring Man City a little bit when they want to in terms of passing. It's just obviously they don't have the personnel to be like Man City, if that makes sense. But I think, as I said, if Erik ten Hag gets all the tools that he needs and is backed in the transfer window and does get the right players he wants in his system, I think United could be a massive challenge in the future and could definitely fight for titles before too long. And to be fair as well, I don't think any United fan really is expecting ten Hag to be challenging or even let alone winning a Premier League this season, because as I said, he's only been there for such little time. Arteta got 2 or 3 years, and only in the last year and a half is he starting to reap benefits, and only this season is he starting to get them in a title race, even unexpectedly. Pep's been at City and spent how much money in the last few years, so obviously he's got a lot of time to gel his squad. Klopp, even though Liverpool aren't in the title race this season, has had a lot of time as well, so I'd say stick patient with Erik ten Hag, to be honest. And I think United fans would agree with me in this, that United are not going to get a better manager at this moment in time than Erik ten Hag, and I think if they do back him, I think they may start to reap the benefits in the long-term future, especially if they change ownership as well. So I think United are definitely a positive place to be at this moment in time for United fans, and for the first time in a while I can hand on heart say that things are getting a little bit better for Man United, I think. So yeah, United fans, leave it in the comment section below. Have I hit the nail on the head? Am I talking absolute shit? I'm open to, you know, all your opinions really in the comment section below. Are you in a title race, United fans? Be honest, you know, completely reactionary based aside. And yeah, leave a like in the video if you did enjoy. It'd be massively appreciated. If you could subscribe to the channel as well, that would also be massively appreciated. We are looking to hit 1,800 subscribers on this channel as soon as we possibly can. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.